collecting half halt. Watch the left shoulder, keep it tucked in with your left knee thigh straight. Straight, Little wiggles in your right fingers and two, that's it, oh, too much. And it's hard to find that. That's how you drop her, because another part of how you drop her is because you don't know where it is. That's it. All right, now very slow sitting trot. Collect her with the whole little bunch of collecting. Not faster. Slow down.
I was trying to stop her and she sped through my leg.
What she also sped through your hands. Your legs are for go. She went through the bit. But I almost am guessing, I'm not getting on your case, keep your elbows down and your belly muscles forward and your butt under you. You have to sit in collection too. That's it. That's it, be patient. Yep, what a good girl. Now really slow and bouncy. Shoulders down, belly muscles forward, piriformis muscles tucked. Now get a picture of that one. Yep. That's it. Now this is almost enough. This is back to front balance collection and throughness and roundness for first level. Level one. I say it both ways. Little flexion to fix the problem, and a little diagonal half fall, a little more flexion, inside rein. That's it. And then collect with your butt, because she's really trying hard. And so she comes over her back and rounds, and then your next thing is to say, oh, thank you, but you've got to say, keep your butt under as the next thing. Okay, and rest. Yes, that was good. That was really good. This is a big change from Friday. Huge. Yep.
So you got to be away from me a little bit further if you want a video. When she comes here, you can't see it.
Cool.
So she needs her circle away from me here a little bit.
All right. Questions from you, observations from you, observations from anybody.
Still just trying to figure out, I know she's trying to come on the bit, and I think she tricks me a little bit, and then she drops that little bit, which is causing my elbow. So I'm trying not to stay rigid in my elbow. And I think it's pulling it forward, dropping her. So it's that timing again, like you said, she's always just
Well, all horses are pretty much. And remember, your go ahead. And so your elbows, well, let's be hard. Elbows, you don't want to think of them rigid this way, but you do want to keep thinking of this part right here is down to the ground. There's weight in your elbows. There's a picture in centered riding of a girl with a bucket, a yoke over her shoulders and buckets hanging down, and that is the picture for heavy elbows. All right, and the other thing, I can't say this to you enough, you have to focus on riding the back end. Second focus is riding those abdominal muscles. In how many fitness people talk about your abdominal muscles? She has exactly the same ones, same names, same bones. There's one bone in the horse and I took an anatomy course once and I can't remember that one bone. There's still discussion over the name of that in a horse. Why, I have no idea. All right, so now, we need a tiny bit more energy, but from the back end. And now wait a minute, I want you to go slowly. I want you to get unorganized again. Now, if I tell you you need more energy in the back end, what are you gonna do? Rhythmic. Remember, no squeezing toothpaste. It's that lift I showed you. Not kicking either. Your legs are getting better. And when you tie your stirrups on there, maybe a couple of weeks will fix it. And then you might need a redo in a month. I've done that so many times. Lift, lift, and lift. That's it. Sit in the, you sit collected too. I'll draw her together. Make the front legs weight again. And this is a new concept, so you guys are just gonna have to help each other from the ground. And you're collecting half holds. That's it. She's sitting in the chair, help. And now a little flexion to finish the softening and the round of her whole joint laterally and the rounding. This is your tougher side. You might have to use a little bit, like stick your left seat bone in her spine once. Too fast. Front legs. The moment the front legs get too fast, they fall on the forehand. Because they're
Can you
pulling
do this
themselves.
while I go help Denise get in?
Now, a little bit more flexion left, which is hard. You can't get the flexion in the jaw pole
You just
joint,
have to
which I
follow
showed you, down behind her ears, behind her jaw, unless you have her off your inside leg and under your seat. Yet, here's something I can say to you. You've sat in that hollow way too long, but on the other hand, when you have a horse bent properly, it feels like there's a little cup under your inside seat bone. That's it. And whoa, collect. Tiny baby steps, counted well. That's a little bit much, but I think you needed it. Okay, there. Now we can lift her into the truck. And you got slow enough. Oh,
Hey, Jerry,
oh,
it's Mandy. She went out to go
slow her
help
down
Denise.
again and coil her. Coil. Now
Oh,
lift.
I don't,
Lift, and hang on to those reins. They're
Yep.
gonna get heavy. You won't
Bye.
die, because it'll be over. The heaviness will be gone as soon as she starts. That's it. That was excellent. She gives it such a good try. She's such a good girl. A little bit of flexion. Make sure she's really bent. I like the position of your left leg a great deal better. That's it. That's it. And two reins maybe. See what a little close of your right hand once would do. It might help, it might not. Just gotta experiment. This is exciting. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Now you hold it a little while, and then you land collected walk, and then you pat. This is beautiful. I am really proud of you and her. That was a great exhibition. I should have an audience that's bigger. Yep. Okay, comments from you. Yeah.
I was afraid that I was pushing a little bit, and I'm figuring out her timing when it's up into it. So that's, and then it just allows her to, and like I said, it's the lift.
Yep.
If
You
I
got
get it on the wrong hind leg, then we lose,
Okay.
she goes to the fourth. So I have to remember which one has to push. And if I'm correct, it's gotta be the inside that's gotta push. Yes? No?
See, I never even think of that. I just think of getting back legs trotting.
Okay.
I don't think of which one. Maybe I'm wrong. That was an interesting idea of yours. I don't know. All right, now we're going to take slow back legs into lengthening and long back legs, okay? Now, did you see my demonstration of how I ride? I think I did it in the house of how I ride a lengthening. Okay, then you have to sit. All right, so my point was that I watched all those people get in the water skiing position and they lengthen, they're behind the vertical, and their feet are sort of out in front of them. I'm exaggerating, and their horses are going like that.
Yeah.
I decided for me I wasn't athletic enough to get out of that. How was I ever going to have a down transition? So I went this way. Okay, I'm gonna jazz you up just a little bit. My horse is lazy. And I'm sitting in my collected position, and then I lean forward that much and raise my forearms that much. And then I put my legs on and we go up the hill instead of just stringing out.
Okay.
And it's gradual. And when you're teaching lengthenings, you only want to go a few steps at a time. And then you bring them back, because now I can come back into my collected position. Okay. And so you don't have to pick up the reins if you don't want to. Well, put your hands in the riding position. And I'll think collected. And I'll lean your torso forward a little bit. Notice that your lower legs are going to come on. Raise your forearms just a little bit. Oh, I also raise my chest, because I'm thinking this uphill thing.
Thinking, and then you're
Uh-huh.
lifting up. Okay.
And then you're coming back. Come back with your pelvis first, and get your body vertical, and then your hands. It happens so fast that I have to talk it slowly, but it happens fast. And here's the other part. You're not ready for this, but if you hear somebody saying medium and extended trots, and they're talking about first level, that is wrong. Lengthenings come out of working gaits. Medium and extended come out of collected gaits. Okay? That's the only difference. A medium
Can
is
you
like,
repeat that again?
yes. A lengthening comes out of working gaits. Mediums and extended in second through fourth and Grand Prix come out of collected gaits.
Okay, so
It's just,
now I'm confused, okay, which is why I'm asking you to reiterate that. Because they're asking me to collect, to gather power, gather power, gather power, and then let her go forward out of a corner.
not let, send.
Okay,
Because letting is like letting go.
yeah, don't let go, right, you've got to
Right.
still have control, and I do find myself water skiing to try and,
Okay, my other opinion of that is why would you stick your butt in your horse's back and it's supposed to go?
that hurts.
Well, it just doesn't seem logical in this brain. So I had to say, no, I'm doing it this way. And I found a couple of other people that do it like I do, but not everybody. You'll
Okay.
find different opinions of how to do lengthenings. And you should know the language so that you don't sound like a fool talking about mediums and extendeds.
Because
And you'll find lots
lengthenings-
of people, you'll have to grit your teeth because they're talking about an extended trot and they don't have a clue what it is.
And the lengthening has to come from the back end. Okay.
And it's gonna come from your legs. All right, so now, just walk a small circle. Big walk. Because we're, by now I teach progressively. All right, slow back legs, close your thighs, quiet your seat, sit tall. Slow front legs, half halts, any one of the four kinds that you want, collecting, diagonal. And you're in charge of 1, 2 of the legs, and now she's nice and round. And now hang on, because you're gonna lengthen the stride, and you're gonna find a hill to look up, and you're gonna lean forward, rubber with your legs a little bit, and you're going to lean forward enough with your sternum, your arms, and lengthen stride in the walk. And she gave you an answer.
She did, and she said, what's going on outside?
I know, I saw her looking out there. Okay, put her together first, so you have some energy stored up in the back end, and then you're going to lean forward a little, raise your hands, raise your sternum, and lengthen the stride up a hill. That's it, that's lengthening. The frame lengthens, the back end has more thrust, and now down transition. Bring yourself back and do your collecting half halts. Excellent, excellent, you're sharp this morning. And so is she. You must have had a good night's sleep. And that's how to do a lengthening. One of the best pictures is in the Centered Riding book, a gray horse lengthening. 1, 2, oh, here's what I didn't add. Okay, that's it, that's it. And we're gonna do one more so I can give you the last little touch here that I forgot. Like that. Okay, collect. And now a lengthening is an amplification of the gait. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I invented that, well, actually a horse taught me. I was looking at a horse and he showed me what it was. And when you're judging, how the heck do you tell whether the horse is going fast and running or lengthening? This was developing my
That was one of my
eye.
questions, because it's not faster.
Right,
Come back up to some
okay.
It's not faster, it's extending the
Yeah,
frame.
yes, you're right. Ah,
It's very clean.
okay,
I'm starting to understand the concept now.
okay,
Put it into
yeah,
practice.
okay. Now I count the back legs, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you're gonna amplify up the hill. When you're ready, 1, 2, 1, 2, counting the back legs, that's the engine, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and de-amplify. That's it, good. Now you're gonna give her a pat. You give yourself a pat on the back.
Girl.
And now we're gonna try it at the trot.
Killing me, Myrtle.
And now, you know, what you see when you're looking at the Grand Prix on YouTube is not what we're doing. And you have to start somewhere. And this is still it, even though it's little, because there's no strength. You're just understanding it, the both of you. You got to start somewhere. This is square one. And you're getting it. Super. All right, now you take a little bit of a breather here, and then you get collected trot when you're ready. And you can practice. And you can practice lengthening on straight lines, diagonal lines, and even on circles. In Western, the lengthenings are often on circles. They're often on circles in eventing as well. In English dressage, they're only across diagonals at the trot and along the long wall in the canter. That's just the way life is structured. Not too fast. That's it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, look at that. Yes, and decelerate. Do not go around the corner without the down transition. That was really good. I'd love for you to do one coming down that wall over there so we can see it from the side.
Okay.
And now look at her back. See how different it is?
Oh, yeah.
It's an amazing difference from when you
It's gone from this to,
I know. I was really shocked when I looked at that yesterday. This horse is a really good demonstration
example of
this.
the croup angle.
Right. Collect. Even more. Coil, 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 belly, 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 head, last. Flexion for the roundness. That's why I taught you the flexion this morning, so that helps you get her round. Because it manipulates that joint. And for you, Mandy, remember that joint has two. She's busy riding. You can do direct flexion and lateral flexion.
Come on, let's go.
Okay. All right. Okay. And lengthen if you're ready. If you want to on that wall, or you don't have to. You can just practice this. Notice today that you have more tempo than you did on Friday, and she's still pretty collected. Collect a lot now through the short end, so you can show more difference. And 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Oh, beautiful. Walk and pat. All right. Now caution. Lengthening is a little stressful on soft tissues of horses. And so, you know, when you're jumping, you count the number of jumping efforts you make. Count the number of lengthenings. Don't just go on and on. But you have a very sound basis of how to do a lengthening. Well, that is great. That was my only thing on my list. I haven't discussed that with anybody. So now what do you want to do? Canter or because now I need some. All those things are wonderful. I'm not diminishing them, but you have had 3 days of correct riding. You're not sitting in that hollow. And I would suggest to you that you just give that up and you tell her we're not doing that hollow anymore.
Yeah, now that I know how to do it.
Yes, but also you know how bad it is. And our goal in dressage, to me at least, is we train these horses properly anatomically and they're sound when they're 32 years old. We haven't wrecked them. And that was a nice pickup. But coil and make the front end wait. You need to develop your consciousness of that. I can't stress often enough, every time you change things with the horses, back to front, anything you're doing. And you can do it from the trot. You can do it from the walk if you want to. That's it. Now Now a little more energy in the back end without letting the front end run away. That's better. And you're following nicely every time I tell you to sit in collection. And your elbows are heavy. That's it. There you go. Everything okay in the house?
Yeah, they had gotten groomed and I think she clipped
They
one
got
of the
what?
nails. They were groomed
Oh,
and I think one of the nails got cut too short.
oh, okay.
So we had paw prints everywhere. Let me see who was calling us.
Good for you.
Jerry
Take a
called you
breath
one
and
time and I
feel.
just answered it.
That's all I can tell you, because you've felt it now. Think about your elbows.
Why the oven was on.
You
Did
don't
she
let
just
the
forget
bird
it?
dive down.
I think so.
You stay up under my butt.
You want me to do that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm doing exactly what
Okay.
she wants, so if I mess it up, then.
Now, ride the back leg. Just think about your seat being coiled under, because she's under and under and under and under. That's okay. So she's a little stiff and the rhythm isn't quite clear. All right. Now, this is a little hairy here. The only way I know to improve the rhythm at this stage is to go faster. And if you lose some of the collection, let's make that trade. Let's try to get the back end actively in the rhythm. Uh-huh. Well, kick. Yep, this is getting better, you notice? She doesn't fight it like that, because she's understanding the whole deal. Okay, that's better. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I think the canter will get better, Sue. Steer the shoulder. Okay, now you. You need to, I know your inside seat bone is supposed to be heavier, but you need to sit on your outside too. Because,
That's where I was on the outside, and I thought it was too much outside.
because
That's
in
why
the,
I'm wiggling.
in the canter, you and the horse need to stay vertical to the earth.
Okay.
So take another little canter with that in mind, because we can do this in squirts so that you don't wear yourselves out.
Yeah. So her left is her better.
Okay, but vertical to the earth. And most people find the answer and then they say it to me. So let's see if what do you have to do to stay vertical to the earth? Vertical. That's it. This is better. And so look, she's sort of round too. Yeah, and the jump is better. You just need a little work on the canter. It needs time. That's the best you cantered. All right, what'd you do to stay vertical?
Well, just,
Oh, okay.
I was thinking of a level, and a level with a bubble in the middle,
Yes,
and I was trying to keep my bubble in the middle.
perfect. That
Which
works-
is why
that
I
works
brought
for
my
you.
hands to here, because she needed stability here, I thought. So
Okay.
she was comfortable, so that's why I went down to here
Okay.
to give her.
And she came over her back better that way. And that's an excellent training aid. And maybe other instructors have told you not to do that, but it's a tool that you use when you need it. Don't go in the show ring like that.
Well,
But,
hopefully by
but,
then we'll have
but
it
I think your decision was wise, because she got rounder and the canter was as clear as it's gonna get. She just doesn't have, I don't know what.
She doesn't have a good canter. And even with working over,
Let's be more specific than that. She doesn't have enough thrust in the back end and enough
Yes.
confidence to come under
Yes.
to jump. I think it's physical.
I wholeheartedly agree, because she is weak in the lumbar.
Yes, she is.
That's
She's
that's
getting
her
stronger.
Achilles, that's her Achilles heel. So if we slowly build that back up, and I can do trot poles, I can do small little cavaletti jumps,
Collection.
and just work on the collection.
That's what brings that up.
Okay.
The poles and the cavaletti jumps make the horse stretch it,
Yeah,
but we're also after belly muscles.
okay,
And that's what makes it round.
okay.
And then you've heard this bridge thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, the bridge has to be strong so that the legs can do what they're supposed to underneath.
Okay.
That's why the horse has to be round. So
So we don't
this,
want to sway
it supports,
the bridge.
it supports the body mass and frees the legs to do what they are designed to do. Right. Okay, so we need a little canter the other way. Oh, no, we have tons of time. We have 20 minutes, so we have to bend. Well, we can try.
We're going right. I have to think about the way of going. We have to pay attention.
And what people usually say, your answer of focus and your carpenter's level was wonderful. Many people, not all, many people say, oh, I had to ride the outside, I had to sit on my outside seat bone, I had to use the outside rein, something like that. And if you weren't aware of that, you were doing it from the appearance to me. All right, now, out of the tempo. I mean, clear rhythm and into the rhythm of the canter, a seamless transition. Back end, abdominals. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And think back end, the front end. Thoracic thing is getting up there really nicely. That's it. Little flexion helps the balance. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh,
She's on the wrong lead.
She's on the wrong lead,
I
yeah.
was gonna say, she does it so beautifully, you never know what's going on.
Yeah, and I was writing and I look up and said, what? Okay. Okay. The half pulse comes, your pelvis comes to your hands. Heavy elbows, no biceps. Go ahead. Okay. Remember, a little speed helps the rhythm. Clarity. That's pretty good. Now ride her straight. And ride your half pulse now. Now, light. Seat to hand, thigh seat, stomach hand. Up. Yes, she did. Thigh seat, stomach hand. Come on, you ride. No, and she switches leads so nicely in the trot. Okay, now just ride. That'll do. Yes. Yes. Want to lengthen stride in the canter? Lean forward and up and go. Yes. And decelerate. That was fun. Good for you. You said, oh, I like that. A nice down transition. Excellent. Excellent. Woo. And I think the only thing that is the matter with her canter is physical development. And I would not say that she has a bad canter. That's too negative and damning.
And I don't mean it by,
I
I
know.
don't mean it negative, I know it needs work. I know that.
It needs development, yes.
That's a good question.
It needs development. Yeah. And because you seem to be on the right track with her, because Mandy can see how her back is working differently from the beginning until now. It's pretty dramatic.
It's almost like.
But all the more of that is just gonna help. Takes time. We don't get fit over time either. I mean, quickly, we have to take time. Okay. Now I know, go ahead, no, you suggest.
Can we take a couple parts of, and I know the letters aren't set up, and believe me, I can modify. Just take portions, okay, my turn on the haunches and my turn on the fours. Particularly my turn on the haunches, I did. And I did it. Okay, so we're going to get her back into the trot. And she's coming around.
gonna get ready to do, well, okay. All right. This one, they want you to do, and it takes a given number of steps to get around. Why do you think that when you're watching a Grand Prix thing, it says, well, they're counting how many steps the horse takes to get around in the canter pirouette? It takes 6. All right, so I want you to walk her back legs around with your seat and count. Ask her to do it your regular way, and now be conscious of how many steps it takes with your seat. Okay. And now, one other thing though, that's gonna make it more perfection, make it bring to perfection, you let her walk out of it on the 5th steps, because there should have been 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and see, and you walked out of it. You're not supposed to do that. So handfuls, just take a step at a time so it's rhythmical. 1, 2, forward 3, 4, 5, 6, and now walk.
So
Yes.
it should complete because it does say, I believe it says walk on, but you have to complete
The turn,
the turn.
one thing at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and walk. Now that's fancy. It does say walk on, but you're supposed to know that you have to finish the turn, which it doesn't say in the test. Yes, but don't walk on until you're sure it's done. Again, it isn't wrong. The horse, the turn on the haunches and the turn on the forehand are correct per se. But you want to get a good score. Huh? Uh-huh. That's not bad. She was a little wide on that last step behind, but you finished it. I think that in the judges' forums that I have been to, I have to go this next winter to Denver to a judges' forum. I don't think they talk about that enough. That's good. And in Western, if one of the hind legs pivots, and then on the turn on the forehand, if one of the front legs pivot, it's okay. But not in English. So I have to keep my brain in gear as to what I'm supposed to be looking at too. That's it. Bring the front end around. Yep. Now, stop a second. That's fine. Now, in order to get a good score, you're going to keep her on the bit. You're going to keep her round over the top line and connected. She's not going to put her head up. You're not going to stop using your hands rhythmically, too. So let's do another one and see. Stay around, sweetie. And you ride her around. You've got the mechanics down fine. Don't worry about that. Now you keep her up like that. That's it. Fingers, fingers, fingers. That's better. Fingers and fingers and round. Now that's fancier. That would have been up at least a half a point, maybe a whole, depending on how the judge was feeling about things. That's it. The horse has to stay on the aids through the movements. Move your fingers. Don't grab. Turn is fine. But she was heavy on your hands that time, wasn't she? Well, it takes 2 to pull. You've got to figure out a way. So do another one to the left someplace. Come down the middle or something and do a turn on the haunches to the left again. And it says halt, and then swing.
Well, and in the test it says, collective steps. And,
Move the bit, don't hang. That's it. Yay. Well, then. That's funny. That's funny. So those are fine. All right.
And the other one I don't worry about, the cabin. It's what the cancer come down. She does it 80% of the time. But if it's, see in here she'll do it because I think the sand will help bring her down. And I've done it so much now that I think I've done it too often, so she anticipates going from the cancer to the walk. And it's like, no, that's fine. So I don't want to over-test that yet.
No. Do you want to do a test? We have 10 minutes left. Okay, what one do you want to do? Just, which one? No. It's,
What number?
what number?
4. Basic.
Yep, that's basic.
I know, it's inside here. I can read it for you if Mandy wants to.
All right, just let me look at it a
Okay.
second. Which one is it? I have to know too. Well, this has the serpentine quarter line to quarter line that we practiced, so this is good. Okay,
All right, Mandy, can you come follow?
A, enter working jog. X, halt through the walk, salute, proceed working jog. C, track left, working jog.
and then what?
E,
What,
circle
what?
left 20 meters, free jog. E, gather the reins, working jog.
Get the pole up.
A to C, serpentine, quarterline to quarterline, 3 equal loops, working jog.
Flex.
Sorry, distraction.
Well, flex anyhow. Cause there'll be the one at the, there'll be one at the show too. Remember how you're riding this, change your legs, change your seat, change the flexion, get the bend. Oh,
Between C and
Come on,
H, develop
Spirit,
working
help.
lope, left lead. E, circle left 20 meters, working float. K, A, F, working float. F, X, H, change rein, working float. X, working jog. H, C, M, working jog. E to E, half circle right, 20 meters, free jog. I mean, free walk, sorry, free walk. That was me. E, working walk.
nice. Leg.
H, working jog. C to A, serpentine, quarterline to quarterline, 3 loops, working jog.
Your first serpentine was too large. See if you can't make it to the quarter line. Stay under the lights. That's good.
Between A and K, develop working lope, right lead.
If you don't know she's on the wrong lead, you're gonna get dinged.
New horse. She said.
I know there's a horse out there.
HCM working flow. MXK change rein working flow. X working jaw. A down center line. X halt through the walk, the working walk salute.
Okay,
Distractions are a huge problem. And she can get dangerous really quick.
uh-huh.
Because she will fall out that shoulder and go like a freight train.
Okay. So, overview on the test. The biggest hole is consistency of the connection and the throughness and the roundness. Right. You can ride the test, which is really good, because that's the first thing you have to know when you go to competition, is get around the ring, be able to ride the test and know what the heck you're doing.
But I got to keep connection.
But she has to stay over her back and into your hands.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. And the lead and that disturbance, well, it's just because of light right down there. I guess it's Denise and her horse were right out there, and so that was that. Yeah. Then you get around the ring fine. You could be a little more accurate on your corners if you want to get really fussy.
Yeah.
Your transitions are at least close to the letters, pretty close. One of the things that was really the worst was that the first change of rein across the diagonal to the trot, and the second time you were late. If it says it's an X, I'm not looking at it.
Yeah, it's at X.
It is X, yes.
Well, then you need to start your half vaults 2 lengths before
Before I get.
you
yeah,
get to
okay,
X.
Okay.
And I think that you need, this is mental, you just need to have more confidence about riding the test.
Okay.
It's still on the mechanical side. You need to not worry about anything else. You need to feel this horse. When, like in the work we've had today, you were really feeling her. She was round and she was up and under and she was correct. And so having to ride the test distracts us from riding the horse. And that's normal. First you have to learn to get around the ring and ride the test. The next thing you have to learn how to ride the horse.
Okay.
And you're right there.
Okay.
So it's coming along very nicely. So you wouldn't win the class, but you'd be in the top third with that. It's
And
probably,
to me, I felt run away with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just,
well, see, you had to go a tempo too,
yeah.
and you did.